Stop. Look at your phone. Every app you're about to open was once perfect. Now, they're all broken in exactly the same way. Netflix, $8 with no ads to $23 for premium. Or pay $7 for a downgraded experience with commercials. YouTube, no ads to unskippable doubles. Uber, cheaper than taxis to surge pricing nightmares. Tech writer Cory Doctorow gave this pattern a name, Enshittification. But naming something isn't the same as understanding it. Different companies, different industries, different decades, same exact formula for decay. Tonight, we follow the money, decode the psychology, and expose why your favorite app isn't dying. It's following a script, and you're playing a role you never auditioned for. Our investigation begins with a question. Why do billion-dollar companies deliberately lose money? 2016. Uber burns $2.8 billion in 12 months. Not revenue, losses. The numbers don't lie, but what story do they tell? Let's examine the evidence. Every platform follows identical opening move. Notice the pattern? They're not selling products. They're buying something far more valuable. They weren't just getting users. They were building the walls of a future digital estate, and we were supplying the stones.
It was amazing. Push a button, car appears. Half the price of a taxi. I sold my car because of Uber.
But here's what the evidence reveals. The word customer never appears in their investor decks. Instead, we find this: user acquisition, like collecting baseball cards or livestock. Internal memos reveal the strategy. Create switching costs so high that leaving becomes unthinkable. Your photos aren't just stored, they're held hostage. The evidence is consistent. The honeymoon lasts exactly as long as it takes to eliminate competition. Then, the walls close in. Once the walls are built and the gates are closed, the extraction begins. But who gets harvested first? Let's examine YouTube's revenue structure. They officially maintain a 55-45 split. Creators get 55% of ad revenue. But the investigation reveals what they don't advertise: aggressive demonetization algorithms, advertiser-friendly content restrictions, and YouTube Shorts paying significantly less. The 55% promise now applies to an ever-shrinking pool of eligible content. Facebook's internal documents reveal they inflated video view counts by up to 900%. Media companies fired writers, hired video teams, then collapsed when Facebook changed the algorithm. The mathematics are revealing. Spotify pays 0.003 to 0.004 per stream. An artist needs roughly 250,000 streams per month, 3 to 4 million annually, just to earn minimum wage. For context, that's reaching roughly 50,000 unique listeners monthly, consistently, just to make what a McDonald's worker earns. Next, we observe the platform transformation. Let's examine what users and researchers report about Instagram's evolution. 2012, purely chronological friend content, 0 ads. 2016, algorithm introduced, sponsored posts begin appearing. 2020, Reels and suggested posts dominate. 2024, user studies show the majority of feed content now comes from accounts users don't follow. Meta doesn't publish official ratios, but multiple studies confirm what users experience. Instagram transformed from a friend feed into an algorithmic content discovery platform. You're not scrolling your friends' posts anymore. You're browsing their recommendation engine. The platform hasn't added features. It's been colonized. You're not scrolling your feed anymore. You're walking through their shopping mall. Examine this list of platform features that moved from free to paid. They're not innovating. They're creating artificial scarcity. It's digital feudalism, and we've become the serfs, paying rent for land we used to own.
We had meetings about making the free version worse, not improving premium, actively degrading the free experience. We called it encouragement.
Our final evidence isn't found in corporate documents. It's found in our own behavior. Why don't we leave? The investigation reveals something unsettling. Studies show average users check their phones 96 times daily. But what are we really checking?
My entire business runs through Instagram. If I leave, I disappear.
All my kids' photos are on Google Photos. 7 years of memories.
I hate LinkedIn, but not having it means not having a career.
The evidence is clear. These platforms didn't just monopolize markets. They monopolized our identities. Neurological studies reveal platform notifications trigger identical brain patterns to gambling addiction. But unlike casinos, these operate 24/7 in your pocket. Here's what the evidence tells us. For them, it was always just math. For us, it became life itself. The honeymoon phase doesn't just build business monopolies. It builds monopolies on our habits, our relationships, our memories. When betrayal comes, leaving feels like self-amputation. They turned our lives into their moat. We're not users. We're not even customers. We're digital serfs in a feudal system we helped build. The evidence forms a clear pattern. 3 acts, inevitable as gravity. Act 1, the seduction. Lose money to gain subjects. Build walls while they celebrate freedom. Act 2, the betrayal. Lock the gates. Extract from creators, then users. Transform paradise into a toll road. Act 3, the feudal state. You're no longer a customer to be served, but a serf to be harvested. The platform is the kingdom. Your data is the crop. The mathematics make it inevitable. Venture capitalists demand 10 times returns. That requires monopoly. Monopoly enables extraction. Extraction demands exploitation. The timeline never varies. 3 to 5 years of seduction, 2 to 3 years of creator exploitation, 2 to 3 years of user extraction, then death or zombification. Every platform CEO knows this pattern. They're not failing. They're following the only business model that works in digital monopolies. The obvious explanation would be greed. But greed is constant. It doesn't explain the timing, the pattern, the inevitability. Even platforms that start with genuine idealism follow the same trajectory. The pattern is bigger than intention. It's systemic. The investigation reveals one successful resistance strategy: digital ownership. The choice isn't between platforms. It's between renting and owning. They want you to be a perpetual tenant. The resistance is to become a landowner again. Email can't be enshittified because no one owns email. RSS can't be monetized because no one controls RSS. They're protocols, not platforms. They're land that can't be lorded over. The evidence suggests these escape signals. The pattern is becoming unsustainable. Digital serfs are recognizing the feudal system. Some are choosing to walk out the gates. A new generation sees the pattern. They use platforms as tools, not homes. They visit the kingdom, but live on their own land. The investigation reaches an inevitable question. Now that you see the walls, now that you understand the script, what will you choose? Will you remain a tenant in their digital kingdom, paying rent with your data, your attention, your identity? Or will you reclaim ownership of your digital life? What's your evidence? Where are you still renting? Where have you reclaimed ownership? Share your digital ownership journey below. Together, we're mapping the path from serfdom to sovereignty. They wrote the script for your digital life. Now that you've read it, you can finally walk off set.